kind of maybe a kick in the ass on emails, on just being motivated on the outreach, going on that, ID camp selections, making sure we maximize pretty much this upcoming year and next summer to get him where he needs to go. And then, one thing that intrigued me was the video review you guys do. There's some things I see, but I'm not a college coach. I'm not a college soccer player. So there's things I see that his coach probably sees too, as his club coach, but maybe you guys could point it out as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge piece of what we do. And we want to make sure that we can certainly talk about what that looks like. Okay, very helpful. Now, if I were to say to your son, why do you want to play college soccer? Why is this something that's important to you? What would you say?
I would say just because I've always played the sport. I've always loved watching it, loved playing it, play it all the time at school or just outside. It's always been my activity to play if I want to get exercise and just in general to get better at it. I love the quickness of it. I just love the game itself. I mean, it's just fun to play.
I love hearing that. Now, I think your father and I would agree on this, but just to clarify, I had the opportunity to play college soccer and then pro soccer, and then I got to do that, and I learned the hard way that, you don't make enough money to never work again. So I went back to school and got my master's. I want to say to both of you, but I'll start with Dad. Would you agree with me that even as we look for the right soccer school for your son, education and the academics come first?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If his mom's on her way home from work, she'd say the same thing. In fact, she'd be probably about pounding the table on that one.
Excellent. And so then I would say, given that we could just lock him in a closet and only do, school, why do you want to help him play college soccer?
Is that for him or me?
That's for Dad. My question to you is, why do you want to help him play college soccer? We could just make him, do school only.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I still think there's a lot of potential here for him to keep playing. I think, I never played college sports. I think it would be fantastic if he had the opportunity.
Awesome. Very cool. Now, I mentioned this because I don't work with that many students. Your video, clearly you guys have been watching my videos, which I love. And that means a lot to me because I know you're taking action on what I'm saying. And if we work together, you'll do the same. Hence why that's what this call is for, because I don't want to charge you a fee and then it doesn't work because you're not going to listen to us or vice versa. So I know you will because you've implemented a lot of things I like. Having said that, I want to ask your son, why do you think you're the right fit to work with us?
Because I think I'll always be on top of everything. I think, if you guys need me to get my grades up, I'll be able to do that. If they're, dropping or something, or should do that. Yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, just, staying on top of everything and, just trying to achieve everything that I can to get a spot on a college roster.
Excellent. Very well said. And I hear what you're saying, that you will do what it takes. And, we will require you to do certain things. I would say to your dad, I've known your son for 7 minutes here. Why do you think he's the right fit to work with us?
He will take this extra assistance, this help, and I think he'll run with it. There's a little bit more here, a lot more here actually, that he could really benefit from. And I think, we watched your backstory on, basically getting your name out there, your videos out there as much as possible. I think on our own, we're limited. We wouldn't be able to have the kind of exposure that something like your service provides. So that's why we're interested in talking with you.
Excellent. Super helpful. So, and I want to reiterate, part of my job is to say, can I help you? So I want to clarify and say, I saw your video. Obviously, you got yourself an interview, you got your coach's interview, you got 2 coaches' interviews, and the clips are good. Yes, maybe if if we work together, there might be a couple clips I'll change the order of, but as a highlight video goes, it was enough for me to say like, hey, I think you can play college soccer. So now the next question is, if that's my opinion, I'm just one opinion technically, and I'm not even the most important opinion because I'm not the one who's going to pick you to a team. However, I am going to help you create a strategy. So it's good for me to know, hey, what level are you and what position do you play and all those things. So given that, you guys saw this already, there's kind of three models in which we work with our students. Model, which is where, we do it for you, everything in the sense that we write all the emails, we click all the buttons, and we tell you how to respond, and will you respond for you, and then you get on the phone calls type of deal, kind of like you're an executive assistant. That's option one. The second option is where we talk back and forth, and we meet each week, but you'll press send. You'll get the tool like you guys saw. We do need to make a lot more video. A couple things I might change in your current one, but like nothing in which I delete, just order stuff. And then finally, to your guys' point of the technology, you guys are do it yourself types, right? You've gone ahead and listened to my videos. You go, hey, I want your AI tool, and I want to be able to get some videos edited for every touch videos or other videos coaches request. And we just really want your tool and access to like chatting with us. That's where the kind of do-it-yourself model comes in. So I think I would ask initially, so far, I'm going to start with Dad. Is there a model in which you're leaning towards more than another?
We definitely not the white glove top tier one. That's a little bit out of our range right now. I'm a government employee, so we gotta stay within somewhat of a budget here. But the bottom two, we have some discussion on those two. They're both intriguing. I see merits obviously in the cost on the do-it-yourself one, but then the other one, there's a lot of value there, I think, as well. So
excellent, super helpful. One thing I can. Okay, super helpful. The difference mainly just the meetings. What I will say is you can always start here, and if you follow the tutorial videos, which is this is what you'll get a document that looks like this. If you guys watch each video, you'll be in good hands, but you have to watch every video. Versus if we get to do the version where we get to talk to you, you don't have to watch any videos. You'll just meet with us and we'll just tell you what to do. So if you're kind of going, let's try it by ourselves, you can always start here and we'll happily upgrade you to this. That's easy peasy. It's likewise, let's say the first month you do this one and then you go, Zev, I just don't think we need this many meetings. We can do it. Then we'll downgrade you to this one. And then, for us, it doesn't matter. And the other thing I'd add to both that, to your point, we split the payments up into 3 payments. The first month, second month, third month. So let's say you do this one, to make it simple, say you do this one for a month and you meet with us 4 times, which 3 to 4 times we'd anticipate. And you go, Zev, that is enough for us. Now we just want your tool. Then we'll create a custom plan where we give you the tool and then you can go do it on your own. Or Zev, we needed that month. It's just, like I said, the payments still go towards each other. So then you'd have one more payment of that and you'd be all done. And then you'd have us for the year. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So that's kind of how we would decide. I will tell both of you, we do not recommend this model for students your age unless they say we have no time in our lives, in which case that, or if they're an international, then they don't really have a choice, and that's what we have to do. But for these two is typically what we recommend. The last thing I'll mention, as you know, we're an annual service. So this time next year, you won't be all done yet. But after the year, you'll never pay the same thing again. We make a custom plan. So if you're like, hey, Zev, we know how to make videos at this point, but we do have a question. Can we get on a meeting? You're not going to pay like this whole fee to talk to us again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So obviously, I know you guys have thought about this and talked about it. I appreciate that you understand everything from my end. The one other thing I would add is to going back to our 3 points of the beginning of the call are, I'm going to start with your son. Have I managed to scare you away and make you want to quit so we don't have to do anything? You still want to try and play college soccer?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, that's that. In terms of me wanting to work with you, what I will tell you is I think absolutely you're a Division III college soccer player. Division II, no doubt. Division I is plausible because we're talking about you now as a sophomore. If you were a junior, I would say no, that you're not going to play Division I, at least in my opinion. But I want to back up and say that's not my job. My job at this point is to go, how do I give you the best chance to get in front of as many people as possible? And in my own story, like you guys saw, I was a nobody. People just told me no. I wish they had said like, no, but go do this. I'm telling you, yes, but not if we don't go do XYZ. Hence, here we are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty familiar with where you live. I played for the Kickers and I lived in Virginia for like 4 years. So I know your clubs and all that good stuff. So the biggest thing I would say is camps wise, and we're going to have to pick and also do an audit. You mentioned you've sent some emails. Maybe I should read those and go, I should read those. What are you sending? And that's really helpful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So the last thing is typically what I say is I want you guys to, at this point, I would say to your dad, let's say you had to pay me today, which you don't. I want you to think about this with your son. Are there any other questions that come to mind?
So one question, and it kind of, when you mentioned the familiarity with this area, so he's a sophomore, he's playing ECNL RL. Do you also help a little bit with, like, what if he tried to get on an ECNL club? Is the process kind of the same? Like right now, the exposure, it seems pretty narrow. It's kind of a who you know kind of thing. Like getting to play for NVA or getting to play for Union or any of the clubs around here. But
yes, good question. Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes. So college soccer is, or the recruiting process, I should say, is synonymous with club soccer. So one of the things you're going to have in your document, I'll show you, is a day dedicated to talking about your club situation. And down here, there's a chapter called Club Soccer. And what we need to understand is, because I don't know your zip code, so like what other clubs exactly around you? And what do you know about them, coach-wise, etc. And how do we can contact them? To your point of knowing, one of the strategies we do is we go straight to the college coaches, right? If you make a club team but never play college, who cares? And there's a lot more colleges than there are clubs in your area. So let's say 5 Division III schools say, I love you, I want you. Now we can take that leverage to the club coaches. Does that make sense? So our job is club soccer. And we don't do it. It's honestly, club soccer is more important in some ways than the college, but we find better leverage when we have college interests. So we will help you decide that, is the answer to your question.
Okay.
I will admit, in the bottom tier model, right, where you are kind of doing it on your own, the onus is on you. Hey, we have a question, and you ask us your questions and we answer them, but we cannot anticipate, right? We can't be like, well, you told me this, and therefore I'm going to use my human brain to tell you this. It's more like an AI in that way, right? It will answer all your questions and it will anticipate as best it can. But in the middle tier, I can talk to you and say, how are you feeling emotionally? Are you happy? Those types of things. Yeah, good question. Your son, do you have any questions that come to mind?
No, I think you actually answered the only one I had.
Okay.
My dad.
Awesome. Now, I want to be mindful of your time because you're working hard and you've got your own life. Is, within this time tomorrow, is that an acceptable time period where you guys could give me an answer if you'd like to work with me?
I think we'll need a little bit more time. I want to talk to my wife more about it.
Super helpful. So here's the dilemma I have. But I'm glad you told me you're honest with me. This is my schedule tomorrow. All of these calls. So at this point, if you'd like to work with us, I can only anticipate, like these two said yes. I'm not going to work with this person. I didn't think they were good enough, and I don't know this person yet. So if these 5 of them say yes, I'm full, and I'll be full for a little while. So if you'd like more time, which I'd like to give you, I will ask for a deposit. And it's a $100 deposit. Once you have the deposit, your spot is saved until Monday. After which point, I will either just give it back to you, or you'll say, let's rock and roll.
So you need a $100 deposit
to confirm that I can. Oh, sorry. Just to confirm I can save your spot. So let's say you call me. Let's say you're like, Zev, we want to move forward, and you call me Thursday. I might say to you, I'm full. I'm sorry, and I can't work with you any longer. The only way I can save it is with a deposit.
Oh, what if we get back to you and say we want to work with you, and whenever your next time is, we're good with that?
The only problem is it could be in a year from now, or it could be 6 months or 3 months, or it could be a week. I don't know. That's my fears. I just don't know. If you have a $100 deposit, I'll just refund it. You can always say, Zev, we don't want to work with you, and then I'll refund it. But it's the only way I can guarantee that I'll keep your spot, because I'm going to work with those. I'm going to say to all these people, are you ready to move forward? If they say, yes, we are, and they pay, then I'll be done and I'll close the account until kids commit. I can only work with so many kids when they get committed. So that's the only way I can save your spot and confidently say, when you're ready, the spot is yours. Versus the other way, you might try and book a time, I'll look at your, you'll be able to book and I'll go, oh, we spoke to this family. I already have somebody in that position. I'm done. And I will cancel the call.
Okay. So if we did the deposit, how does that work?
I'll give you a link. It's $100. You'll pay the $100 and then your spot is saved until Monday. And then you have until Monday to make a decision. And on Monday, you will follow up with me and say, hey, Zev, we want to do this. In which case, you don't have to do anything. I'll just bill you. I'll have your card information privately saved and all that. And we'll get started. Or you'll say, Zev, we don't want to work with you. And I'll refund you the $100.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, excellent. The last piece is I'm going to send you both models, the middle tier and the top tier. So you have a copy of both of those. If you decide, hey, Zev, we want to work with you and are ready to rock and roll, what you'll do next is, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to go, here's a deposit link. What you'll do next is you'll fill out this agreement. And this agreement is custom, right, to the 3-payment model. So we'll split it up into 3 payments. One of the things I want to add, I think I mentioned to both of you, is anytime during you're making the 3 payments, you can cancel. It doesn't mean we'll refund you, and it doesn't mean that you'll be done with the process or you keep the tools, but you don't have to keep going if you don't want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The idea being, hopefully you love us and you'll keep working with us. And then you'll see both agreements. Both of them will say, if you don't, this model has no guarantee. So this is all for you guys. This model will say if in 3 months from now, you're not being genuinely recruited and on track to get a scholarship between $60K and $80K, given your son's grades, then I'll refund you. Sound like a deal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent, everyone. I'm going to send over this email to you right now. And if, like Dad, as you mentioned, I'm going to give you this link. If you give me, let's say you speak to your wife within the next day or 2 or whatever, and you go, hey, Zev, we spoke, we want to get started. You can just click one of the links to get started. Or like I said, you'll have till Monday.
Okay.
Awesome, everyone. It was so nice talking to you all.
Great.
Talk
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
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 Okay. Hello, everybody. Where are we here? Hi, wouldn't it be better to not get that many minutes on ECNL or get a lot of minutes on RL? Depends how old you are, Luke. Luke, you're the one who's going to book a call with me. Book a call. We can talk about it. If I have a D1 school coming out to watch me at MLS Next 1 games, but I only get 20 minutes, is that all right? No, that is not all right. You need to talk to your club coach. Hi, CollegeSoccerGuy. What's better level, UPSL or ECNL? UPSL is probably a better level, but ECNL is better for exposure. Okay. Excellent, everybody. What's up, Connor? What ID camps? Connor, I responded to you on your comments. Please send video and book a call. I don't know without seeing video where to send you. Okay, excellent. Thank you, YouTube. All right, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I never got the food and water I was supposed to get. So let's see here. Okay. All right, then where was I? Okay, so there's okay, everybody. I'm playing 11, playing Eastern RL. I'm 11 playing Eastern RL. M4 Flash. That's great. Make a video, send it to me. Is it realistic for a D1 coach to keep interested even with low minutes and working to get more? It's definitely still possible if you go to their camp and you send them video. Then it's still possible. But if you don't do anything, then that may not be good. You can't just expect them to come to your games. You got to keep them updated with content information. Okay, good questions, everybody. I'm going to go and